What's going on, YouTube? It's the No Level Cap podcast, and this week, you know them, you love them, and they'll never go away. We're gonna be taking some looks at some gaming hot takes.
Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the No Level Cap podcast with all your friendly neighborhood black nerds, where we cover all the anime, all the gaming, all the nerd culture, absolutely zero of the BS. Back with a new episode every Monday morning. I am your host, Sage Ashford. These are my co-hosts, Rakeem Beck, Devin Butts, Terrence Flowers, Will Coleman. This week, we're back to taking a look at hot takes, just like Devin said. That's right. We're going to take a look at all the hottest opinions from you Mountain Dew addicts and see what's valid and what's fucking garbage. Let's just get right to it. I want to know. I've had a hard time looking for hot takes because, like, and we talked about this before the show started. Me and Terrence was like, you know, I forget which one of y'all said a hot take, and Terrence was like, well, that's just fucking wrong. That's not a hot take. And I was like, no, that's what I want from a hot take. I want some shit where I'm like, this motherfucker is out his damn mind. That's what I want. So I don't know. Everybody.
It was Bubsby is better than Mario 64, something like that.
Yeah.
And I just said, like, that's just factually wrong, but I guess that's the criteria for a hot take. So, you know, hey.
That's the shit. I want to hear some shit to just make my blood boil, where I'm like, who the fuck thought of that? Like, yeah. So, I mean, we'll see. I had some of my own that, like, it didn't really make my blood boil, but I was like, man, shut the fuck up. That's the answer. That's really what I want. I want to be able to say, shut the fuck up. And I don't know, like, we'll see how many of these pass that test, and how many of these are just like people just stating their opinions. Let's get into it. This one was one that I saw from G4 from a while back. It's really just the first one that was a hot take.
The boy look different now.
Animal Crossing is boring.
My gaming hot take is that Halo is not that great. I'm sorry, it was never my kind of game. Sorry, Golden Boy.
That's a personal
Red Dead
opinion.
Redemption 2 should have won Game of the Year. I think BioShock Infinite is the best.
What won Game of the Year that year?
Oh, the Red Dead Redemption 2 year, God of War.
I mean, I could see that being tough. I mean,
that's an argument. That feels like a legit argument. Because
that's one of the
Red
ones.
Dead 2.
That's
one of the ones where I'm like, that's not really a hot take to me, because it's like those are two great games. It's like two 90+ Metacritic games going against each other. It's like, well, that's just an opinion. That's not really a hot take. That's the definition of this isn't a hot take. It's just your opinion. Now,
yeah, like those first couple ones, it's like, yeah, like you said, like those are just opinions.
I think
well, Animal Crossing is boring. That wouldn't piss me off, but it would piss some people off.
Yeah, I mean, it would piss some people off, but I mean, it's an opinion.
The Halo one would also piss people off.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, I could say I never was a big fan of Harvest Moon growing up, so you know.
Yeah. Now this is one. This lady had quite the hot take.
Game of the Year. I think BioShock Infinite is the best BioShock game in the series.
Woo!
You want to know a hot take?
Wait. She said that
In Rocket League,
She thinks the Infinite's the best BioShock game.
Well,
Well, there's only 3, and 2 is definitely the worst. So it's 1 or 3.
Well, people don't fuck with Infinite like that no more. Really, it's BioShock 1 that people say is great. And I've seen people say BioShock 2 was all right.
It wasn't
Infinite.
why people turn their back on Infinite? Like, Infinite, when it came out, it was like critically acclaimed, like considered one of the best games of that year.
I think well, one thing is that there was a lot of people that I don't know how visible this opinion was, but I remember people saying this doesn't live up to. In fact, it's kind of like Watch Dogs, where like it didn't live up to the initial trailer that everybody saw.
I see what you're saying.
Oh,
Where it's like they saw the trailer and they thought it was gonna be one thing, and then they played it and it's like, wait a minute, this missing all this shit from the trailer.
This one I could in some way see, because I remember the first trailers for Infinite, and I remember like it felt like it was a sprawling, almost more open-ended game, and it's just more linear than what we saw. It still had some of the elements from it, but it wasn't as open-ended. Because I played a little bit of Infinite. I definitely played BioShock 1, and I remember those trailers, and I was like, this is incredible. What am I watching? This is like an evolution of gaming itself. And it's like, it was still a good game, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
If anything, it sounds like Judas is more so what Kevin Levine is trying. Like that's more so what he's trying to achieve. Like maybe it's actually possible now, as opposed to what BioShock Infinite was the PS3 generation, right?
Yes.
Tail
end.
Yeah. So like at that time, some of that stuff it just wasn't quite there yet.
Narratively, it did some interesting things too. So I could see why you would like Infinite's narrative more than one in certain ways, especially with like the supporting cast being just stronger. Because one, you're pretty much by yourself, and 3, it's more you have the lady with you, so it's like a more direct companion and character interaction. So that's an argument for it. That's always.
That's another one of them things where people have to realize you temper your expectations from a trailer, because time has showed us some. We've had trailers that just
time again.
Well, Devin, you got to think when that trailer came out, it was 2012, and I think that was one of the earliest trailers that was just like a huge downgrade from like what you were expecting.
Nah, remember first Xbox 360. I always remember this. Madden 06, 07. They literally sold you a lie. Killzone 2, they sold you a lie. I'm like, all right, bro, we can't.
All right, yeah, I mean, you're right.
We can't. Them two right there, that Madden. I was
at first you brought up a sports game, and I was like, Devin, don't nobody. I mean, I know
if you go back and look at this trailer, I promise you, it's literally like you'd be like, brother, this is nothing.
I feel like I know what you're talking about, because back then they were really trying to sell the sweat and everything.
Yes,
that was what started that.
I mean, I would say like it's a fair-ish hot take, just because I've seen so many people. And then like BioShock Infinite alongside Dragon Age Inquisition was one of those games that you saw people kind of turn on over time. Yeah. Like when it first came out, people thought it was great. And then like the longer it was out, people was like, man, this game just bothers the shit out of me. And so like, I don't know, like to have that opinion in 2022, I was like kind of surprised. This one, actually, I think both me and Terrence had this one. So
personally, I think remakes have kind of ruined gaming.
Can you turn it up a little bit more?
I love them.
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Playing them. Resident Evil remakes, for example, Silent Hill remakes. There's a lot of remakes out there. But my problem is, it's kind of an excuse for a company to not release a new title simply because they know the fans will eat up a game that they obviously loved remade with new graphics. If a company does this while they're working on a new game, that's fine. But there's a lot of instances where companies say, oh, we're making this remake, and then they're not working on any other project. To me, that just feels kind of lazy. Like they're running out of ideas, or they're just not being original.
I know.
It's a hot take, but let me know your opinions.
My question for that opinion is, what company examples are just making remakes and not making new titles?
Yeah, like
I guess MGS3 would be an example of one with Konami.
When is Final Fantasy 17 coming out, Keem?
When God wills it.
When Final Fantasy 7 Remake 3 is done. That's when they start.
That's the problem with that game being split up in 3 parts. I still don't like that. That's the problem you got with that game. I'm trying to like recreate. Oh, it's got 3 discs, bro. Just put the game on 1 disc, bro.
I'm sorry, but the minute you said that, I was like, damn. When the original 7 3 discs, and now they're giving us 3 different games with 2 discs apiece. So now we got 6 CDs for 3 games.
I'm gonna be very honest with y'all. As soon as they announced that game, I knew this was gonna happen, because I knew how graphics work now, how expensive it would be to do now, and the scale at which they were doing it. There was no way they were gonna put it all in one game.
Yeah,
even if you take a lot of that side content out, it still wasn't gonna all fit in one game. It was still gonna probably wind up being like 2 different games.
Know, man. I think they still could have done it. That game
wouldn't look like that.
Down.
I can tell you right now.
That game got some
scaled
down
down a little bit.
You could take out all that.
This way, it wouldn't have been
on the 1 disc.
It wouldn't have started on the PS4 if it was just one game.
There we go.
Even 5, they had issues with like the performance and the graphics, getting them both to like match.
So like to get what more fans wanted, they really just wanted like an upscaled graphic.
They wanted that shit you got on the mobile game. That's what they wanted.
Yeah.
The one that was kind of coming out in like chapters or whatever, but it was like upgraded kind of graphics, but it still very much looked like FF7. That's what a lot of people wanted.
Ever Crisis.
And also going with this argument again, the hot take. I understand where he's coming from, but I also know that a lot of companies gauge remakes to even see if people still have interest in that IP at all.
Yeah.
They want to see, hey, is the fan base still there from some of the fan base still there from the old games? We can move that into the new game with a new generation. And so like we'll see remakes of older. In fact, like if you pay attention, like when a new game is about to come out, you'll see all of a sudden an old port will come out early. Like, oh, we just ported this old game from 15 years ago. And that's like the company. That's basically the company almost calling card. Onimusha, for example, they ported the original Onimusha to modern consoles. That was kind of like the sign, the first sign, like, hey, we're getting ready to boot this IP back up. This is the first engagement, things like that. But I don't know if there's any company who's just like doing a remake of it. You said Naughty Dog?
Yeah, where it's just like they spent so much of this last generation. It's like, hey, here's Last of Us remake, and here's Last of Us remastered PS5 version. It's like, bro,
now
put out
that
a new
one
fucking video game.
That adds to his argument.
Yeah, Naughty Dog.
That's just BS. There was no need to make Last of Us or Last of Us 2.
You had Last of Us 1 remastered, and I was cool with that. That's the one I played, and because that one came out on PS4, and I really enjoyed that one. Last of Us 2, I mean, that didn't need to be remastered, really, just because, I mean, it already looked great. So if you want to make the argument that games that like have come out within the past 10 years don't need to be remade, you know what? That's an argument I'm willing to go along with. But if we're talking about games from like the 90s, the 2000s, I could, you know,
and that is a hot take I've seen online from some gamers where it's just like there's no need for remakes, period. And I'm like, man, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I mean, now that is a genuine hot take that, you know, there's no need for remakes. And that's one I would disagree with, just because, for one, one thing that we've seen with remakes and even just with newer entries in games is that brings in the newer gamers that, you know, aren't familiar with the series. Like, so many more people are now familiar with Final Fantasy VII because of the remakes versus just the original existing. And the fact of the matter is, if you only like the original doesn't just magically disappear when the new ones come out. If you want to go play that, you still very much can.
Sega,
most of the time,
Sega will make their remakes. Like if they remake some shit, the original just disappears. And I wish they wouldn't do that.
Rockstar did that too with the GTA San Andreas remake, right?
They sure did. They got rid of like the GTA,
the trilogy.
The trilogy. Yeah, I know what he's talking about.
That was bad.
Man,
that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah, they
remake that's bad, and you get rid of the old one.
They had somebody else working on that, right? It wasn't like Rockstar themselves. It had like some other developers.
Somebody else. Yeah.
Got released the second time and was still bad.
Yep, it sure did. My God, was that hard to sell.
But yeah, there are some people that try to make the argument that like, oh, if you're not willing to play the original game, then you don't really deserve to play this franchise. I'm like, well, that's how a franchise dies. I don't want that.
Yeah.
So
correct. And it's kind of hard. It's prohibitive to play some of these older games. Like they're locked on certain systems.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you.
Me and Keem know this well. Like the Trails in the Sky remake, when they did that, before they did it, there were so many people that were like, "Oh, there's no need to remake it. It's a perfect game." I'm like, bro, it's from 2005 with PSP graphics. Like, it needs a remake, and it wound up being like massively successful. So,
and I had just finished Trails in the Sky right before the remake got announced. And even then, I was like, "Yeah, it still need to be made." And it was one of the best remakes I've ever seen. So, I think
they did everything right. So I don't understand what people was mad about.
Yeah, I think that remakes like have their place. Like they shouldn't just go away. Now, should companies just like only do remakes? Then no, obviously. So,
people all right, here we go with another one.
Oh, hold up.
God dang, what's the audio?
Even TikTok was like, no, I don't know about that.
TikTok said it's too hot.
Gamers are the worst consumers in the world. And trigger warning, I'm finna crash out about this because I'm at the point where I don't even understand anymore. Why am I logging on to Beyonce's internet, looking at people making an argument for Xbox making their games exclusive again? Are y'all morons? I don't know who needs to hear this, but this applies to games, to movies, to television shows, to all content of any shape, size, or form. Exclusive content is anti-consumer. If you need to have a particular piece of hardware or a particular service to access a particular piece of content, that is anti-consumer. That is the removal of options, and less options
for a
is
console
not
fanboy.
pro-consumer.
This would be a hot take.
Before we get into the bad consumer thing in totality, I've never met a movie lover, a music lover, a book reader, a TV show binger who wanted somebody to not be able to watch the thing that they love or listen to the thing that they love or read the thing that they love. Movie lovers want you to watch their favorite movie. People want you to listen to their favorite albums. But for some odd reason, gamers want you to pay $500 for a piece of hardware to play that game that they love. Because for some reason, they feel less than if somebody with another piece of plastic gets to enjoy the thing that they are enjoying. But let's get into the thick of the bad consumer thing. I just came out of several years of Xbox trying to do incredibly pro-consumer things to gain market share, and it didn't work. But I can't believe the way people just dismissed all these multitude of things that they were doing. When Xbox Play Anywhere was getting more popular, people were like, well, why would publishers do this? I don't know. Maybe because you're asking for it. Maybe because you want to be able to play your video games that you purchase anywhere that you would like to, instead of only where they say you can. You know, you see this example the most with like cable companies or internet companies. You see that the other internet providers offering more channels or like faster internet for the same price that you're paying for less channels and less internet. But you hate that other company. It doesn't mean that you now go jump ship to the other company. It means that you call your favorite company and say, hey, that other company is offering X, Y, Z for so much money. And you know what? I love giving you my business, but like, what are you doing for me? Gamers don't do that.
Anybody remember back in the day? This is an old thing. So like, you got to be like old enough to have watched telecable. Anybody remember when they would take off a channel or be about to take off a channel off your service, and they'd be like, call your cable company to tell them to keep such and such services? Like,
I remember that. You remember that? Yeah,
I do too. I do.
I never did that, like, because I was like, what the fuck is one call?
I was a child for one thing, so I wasn't doing that.
That was one part of it. Yeah, I was a child. But also, like, what is one call gonna do? I lost WB.
Hey,
I was like, damn, I wish I had
that's all.
Hey. Richard Schwartz actually helped my sister out one time. Appreciate it.
Oh shit. But yeah, I mean, like, the idea, like, the real hot take was the guy saying, hey man, take all the exclusives away and all that, and just make Xbox games exclusive to Xbox. Like, man, first off, that's a stupid thing. It's too late for that now.
It is too late.
You go kill Xbox trying to do that.
Because like Xbox already adapted to the PC market. First of all, it's owned by Microsoft, so yeah. That's a PC company. They benefit from games being on PC. That helps them. Yeah. So I don't see that ever happening.
And second of all, unlike PlayStation on Steam, Xbox on PlayStation has made a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like, sometimes you look at their top 10, the PlayStation top 10, and half of the games or more sometimes are all just Xbox games.
Mm-hmm.
What would Microsoft look like taking them games off just to participate in some pissant console war? Like, why the fuck would they care about that? Like, no, right. I'm not finna give up my money. I'm not finna give up this revenue stream just so you can have some exclusives. Like, what does that mean?
So I guess the answer for next gen is they just have to make sure that the hardware is like actually appealing outside of just exclusives, huh?
That should always be your answer, though. Like that.
I mean, yeah, like, you would think it would always be the answer.
You remember when PS3 came out, and that shit had internet on it for the first time, and like music players, and like there was a period of time
that they all took away.
There was a period of time, literally, and we all remember this, where I remember the stat came up. If you had Crunchyroll, most people in the United States watched anime on a PlayStation 3. Yeah, that was insane to me. Yeah. When I heard that stat, that was insane to me. So yeah, I think having better features on your consoles is probably a better answer than just the software. Because if your console doesn't have like you talked about this yesterday, Devin, like your brother doesn't like the PlayStation UI for PS5, and I ain't gonna lie, the UI for PS is just kind of mid, not really that great. They never really had a better UI than Xbox. Xbox always had the avatar system and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Agreed.
And they just never worked on it. I feel like their UI has gotten worse and worse. And like that's a feature like we should be calling them out on. Like, hey man, we paying all this money for these consoles, and we buying the games, but your actual console features are worse. Like, there's no more internet browser on PlayStation. I love going on the internet on PS3 when I was younger.
You actually have to dig for that on the PlayStation 5.
Well, it is. It's like a secret hidden thing. I know.
Yeah. But that's bullshit.
But it should be on there.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not justifying it, but I'm just calling it out.
I understand. Because, I mean, some certain games have you access to websites and DR, all DR stuff. You have to go to websites so you'll see it. But, back in the day, we lived this. Like, we had the internet browsers. I used to listen to my albums on my PlayStation, like through just uploading them on my hard coding music I had on. and just put it on there and listen to it.
Yeah.
Y'all remember the time that, like, if you didn't have on internet block, you could actually look at the media on another person's PlayStation and play it on your PlayStation. Now that probably need to be blocked. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Because I watched the whole season Dragon Ball Z off somebody else's PlayStation.
I do remember there was somebody in y'all's apartment building. I don't know who it was, but they had hella media on there. Y'all was just looking at the shit.
That's right. You could see the
I forgot about that.
You could use it.
You could use it. Yeah.
I totally
I
forgot
don't know what they
about
about on that one.
I opened it up one time and seen somebody's stuff. I said, brother, I could be in here watching all your stuff and you wouldn't even know it.
Man, now that PlayStation hack don't seem too odd after hearing that now.
Good point. Good point.
But I was listening to TBH talk about the Project Helix, and he was reading an article, and I think it mentioned something about like free Xbox Live, and he was talking about the whole thing of console having features that exclusives on one thing, but then the features also. And he was like, what if they do like free Xbox Live or something? Because apparently, like, we're saying like that new thing is gonna cost like $1,000 plus. So like, it's $1,000, but you get free Xbox Live. And something he was mentioning, like maybe they do something to eliminate cheaters. Like you put something, y'all doing all this AI stuff, and how about you do some AI that can detect if somebody's cheating and boot them out of the game or something like that. They'd be like, oh, we can play on a console that just automatically lessens cheating for us. Maybe not in a massive scale, but they can kind of upscale it as they get better with it. I mean, that would be like, hey, because I know 2K is riddled with cheaters, like the Zens and all this stuff. Like, and it's weird. 2K is to the point now where people will not play with you unless you're cheating. I'm like, y'all some scrubs, bro. What are we doing? Like, you telling me I can't run with you unless I'm cheating? Which I guess makes sense, but
I was going to say, why would I play with somebody that ain't cheating?
It's just like, bro, that's so wild that's like getting ingrained in culture. Like, bro, stop buying this little thing and just get good at the game, man. Like,
no.
So there was a way that the console could take, oh, this man got a Zen. Oh no, you can't play, bro. Like if it said like, hey, you cannot play online until certain XYZ peripheral is disconnected. I'm like, that'd be a win right there if y'all could do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, Xbox has tried to get ahead of the game and figure things out. Cause like, even when I think back to like the Xbox One, like when they did their first presentation, a lot of it was like things that we use now, but just didn't sound good at the time. So like the idea of like everything being like all in one box that the Xbox One was trying to be. It's like everybody was like, "No, I just wanted to play video games." It's like that ain't how people use consoles now. Like if you have a console and it's hooked up to your living room PC, you definitely use it for more than just gaming. Like you definitely use it to like watch YouTube or Netflix or Crunchyroll or whatever, sports, like all that shit. So like they were kind of ahead of the game. And so I guess the thing is you're going to have to find things that are both ahead of the game, but enough people want it. You don't want to get too far ahead of the game where people are like, why would I even have this? Like Xbox Play Anywhere. Like the everything's an Xbox shit. Like that hurt their brand, even though like 10 years from now, you're going to want to be able to play your games on everything. Like that's just where the industry is heading. At some point, it's going to be like, well, I mean, like, why would I just want to be constricted to one box to play a game? But right now, people are still so tied into their console rather than like the ecosystem itself, like the Xbox UI and the Xbox brand. It's like they're tied to the box that they buy. And so like you got to figure out something that people want, but people want right now. Like you can't get too far ahead of them. But as far as like exclusives, I don't know. Like I'm looking at Sony and people are like so excited that they're pulling their exclusives back from PC. And I'm like, man, I hope that works for Sony, but I don't think it will. Like, I frankly don't think they have enough exclusives to get that job done.
It takes too long now. That's
that's what I'm saying. It just seems like it just works only for Nintendo, and
and then
that's why I
that's the
still
other
think
thing.
they're important though.
That's the other thing. Nintendo has never ported their games to another console. Like, if you want to play Nintendo games, you have to buy a Nintendo console, and it's been that way since 1983 or whenever the NES came out. Man, Sony ported all their PS4 games and most of their PS5 games, and so now you're starting from scratch. And so it's like, all right, well, if I don't want Wolverine, then I don't need to buy a PS5 this year. And Sorrows. If I don't want Wolverine and Sorrows, I don't need to buy a PS5 this year.
Yeah.
If next year y'all come out with Intergalactic, like once I found out what Intergalactic really was going to be, I decided I was like, I don't need this game. So like that's another game where I'm like, I don't need the PS5. Like, how long is it going to take you to build up a library where someone looks at it and goes, hey, I have a PC, but I have to have a PS5 or a PS6 now. How long is that going to take for you to build that library back up? So I don't know. Like, I personally think it would be better if you put your games everywhere, but I know a lot of people are tied to the idea of the console war, even when they think that they're not. So I guess that shit gonna be sticking with us for at least another 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I think a part of it too is that there's people who are tied to just having a device that just plays games and nothing else. That's what they use it for. I mean, some people use it for the whole thing. Like me, I use my PlayStation for everything, movies, music, all types of stuff. But there are people who like, they got to have a console with them everywhere. I mean, if you guys watch the Jeff Teague podcast, you've heard that this dude is like almost an addict with his console. He take it on the road. He took it to the hotel room. He had to have it everywhere he went. Some people are really, really connected to their consoles. Now, I've also heard the counter argument. Now, a lot of people are doing like gaming laptops on the road. So part of me almost feels like the real answer is everybody needs to have a physical, almost going backwards, the handheld version and the regular version to cover both sides.
I mean, it's kind of going down that path, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
so
handhelds are getting better, mini PCs are getting better. Like we're just getting smaller and smaller tech that's better than what it was before.
It's funny because I was looking at Twitter before we started the podcast, and there was a conversation going on where someone was like, why aren't portable consoles like really portable anymore? And I guess they were talking about how big they are compared to like what they used to be. And like the response was basically because everybody wants a portable console to have the same power as a main console, and that's just not possible. And if you did have it, you were gonna have a battery that lasted maybe an hour or some shit, but people want like 6-hour batteries. And it's like, it's not going to happen, bro. So
if we weren't spending all this money on AI chips, maybe we could have made it, but no.
Talk that talk.
And honestly, the closest thing you're going to get to that kind of power in a relative form factor, I mean, it's your phone.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the closest.
This one is one of the typical, like, it's not really a video. It's just like dudes talking about like putting up their hot takes. I hate the progressive hot takes. Let's see if this gets better over time. I typically don't like them at first because like a lukewarm hot take is not a hot take. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Elden Ring is only considered a masterpiece because of the lore and story. Without the story and mystery, it's just repetitive boss fights and bad combat.
I mean, I feel like that applies to almost any video game where it's like if you take away the stuff that's good about it, then it's not going to be as good.
Like, what?
If I took away the platforming out of Mario 64, it ain't Mario 64.
to me, this ain't
what
even
story
a hot
like
take.
the Elden Ring story wasn't crazy like that. That wasn't why people was playing that game.
No, they weren't.
I mean, that is true too.
You play Elden Ring for the adventure and immersion.
Right.
I think that's why people play Elden Ring. Like the world, it was a FromSoft game in a much larger world that you could explore. And they made the world interesting enough where exploring it was actually really fun. And
this, by the way,
in some cases,
is another great hot take though, because it's like FromSoft games have bad combat. Like, man, I don't like FromSoft combat, but a lot of people love it. So, and it inspired a genre.
But you know what?
So I mean,
it's not for everybody.
It's got some jank to it.
It's definitely got some jank to it. I will tell you this, and I a friend of the podcast, my friend Bird, he watches our podcast. I hope he actually listens to this. He stopped playing Elden Ring because he felt he actually had a problem with combat. His issue with the combat is it feels like at a certain point you are kind of pigeonholed into the style of combat that they want you to play, and the bosses and enemies have free reign to do all kinds of crazy, ridiculous stuff. He wanted the freedom of like, when you play like DMC, you feel like you a god playing Dante. Like you wanted to be on equal playing grounds to a degree, and some of the freedom and the limitations. I sort of see that argument. Like I don't have a problem with combat because you have so much creativity and builds and diversity and how you play the game and different weapons and stuff. But also I think because we've seen progressively different takes on the combat. Like I'm playing Neo 3 right now. Neo 3 has fantastic combat, all types of cool stuff you can do in there. Different weapons and stuff like that. Devin showed me First Berserker Kazan. First Berserker Kazan's combat is phenomenal. Even From Software's own game, Sekiro, had a really, really cool combat system that like was super unique. No one had ever played really nothing like it. They try to mimic it, but it's not quite the same. So I think there are things they can do about the combat to improve it in future titles to make it a little less restrictive. I will say that.
Well, I mean, here's what go ahead, Devin.
No, I was gonna say, I don't agree with him saying this only considered a masterpiece because of lore, but I think there is some good lore here. Because even me myself, when I played Bloodborne, I was literally really interested in figuring out what the heck is going on. When you have like the boss fight against Gurman and you fight the moon presence at the end, like I'm like, what the heck is going on? And what's your boy King? That dude is literally, his channel is like the biggest lore channel for FromSoft. There's a crowd for that stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think people do enjoy the lore, but I'm not gonna say that it's considered a masterpiece only because of that, though.
Yeah, it just does it differently.
I said the story. I didn't say the lore. Like the lore, people always been hyping up like From Software lore, just in general. I will say, as far as like combat goes, it does feel like at least when I watch it, it feels like the bosses have no stamina while you're locked into stamina. And I'm like, man, that feels like kind of annoying. That's kind of annoying. Like the idea of like, oh, I'm limitless. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
That's a better way of saying it. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, but I want to be able to do all the cool shit just like you. Like
that's why Sekiro is cool. That you and the bosses had the same stamina. You take their stamina down, you already take your stamina.
Let's see. Devil May Cry 2 is overhated. It's actually the best in the series.
That is a hot take. That is a hot take.
That's a proper hot take.
Whoa.
That's the one I saw. I was like, yeah.
No. Dante finally acts like a real demon instead of cracking jokes every 5 seconds. Well, yeah, but his character is to crack jokes every 5 seconds.
That's his character, sir.
And the serious tone feels way more fitting.
He's Demon Leon. That's all he is.
It feels way more fitting. Why? Like DMC is DMC. Like you,
right?
I hate when people be like, "I like this so much better" because it's not like the series at all. Then you actually like the series.
You don't like the series.
We just like this game, and that's it.
Right.
I mean, that is a hot take to feel that way.
That game wasn't the greatest, but I do.
Hollow Knight is overrated, and the fans act like it's the best game ever made. But it's really just aimless platforming with fake deepness. People are only hyped for Silksong because it's taken so long. They've convinced themselves it's going to be perfect.
And this came out before Silksong, so
this came out.
It came out July 2025. So this person didn't know. I'll say this as someone who recently started Hollow Knight because I did want to finally get to Silksong. I mean, I can't give like an informed opinion about the entire game, obviously, but I mean, I see the appeal. I do. I mean, the art, the animation, the fights are cool. The game definitely doesn't fuck around in terms of difficulty. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like aimless. That's kind of all Metroidvanias is there's kind of
what is aimless platforming?
That's the genre.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is kind of just figuring out where you need to go. Now, whether you like that or not, that's a different story. You know, that's a matter of opinion.
He talks about Hollow Knight, how I felt about Symphony of the Night when I was a child, because I didn't know what I was playing. I had never played a game like that before, so I was like, wait, why can I go up and down? What is the level? What is the next level? No, you just explore. What is exploring? Like, that's kind of how he just got lost.
I'll admit, now, there's a point in Hollow Knight where I'm lost. I'm having to figure out, like, all right, where do I go? And I will admit there is an aspect of that. That's the reason why I don't play many Metroidvanias, because some of them do turn into, all right, where the hell do I need to go kind of games. But you just have to be okay with that, because that is part of the journey. The exploration is going around figuring out, like, I was here last time, but now I got this new ability. Maybe if I go back there, I'll find some different route that I hadn't explored before. But, you have to be okay with that.
This sounds like one of them I'm not good enough takes again. I hate to say it, but this is like
skill issue.
This game, I played this game like when it first came out or not too long after, and I played it for an hour and I put it down. But I came back a while later and played it, and I was like, what was wrong with me? Why did I stop playing this game? And I was so, I'm like this, I freaking Metroidvania is one of my top genres of games. Like I love Metroid, Castlevania, some of my best games, my favorite games of all time. I'm like, this is just like the new age of that. The art styles, like fake deep. I don't even know what fake deepness is, because like the game, like the story, everything that's going on. Like I've said this before, just the way they have crafted this world, like with the art design. It's amazing how you take these little insects and it's very like minimalist, but then like if you look at the backgrounds, everything, I'm like, I don't know.
You know, it's. I
I don't
mean,
know.
like I know Hollow Knight, Silk Song does things like exploring like the meaning of life and shit like that. And so
Right.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
if Hollow Knight, the OG one, does the same thing. But I guess that's what, like the idea of like it exploring philosophy and things like that, or like, just like any kind of like subject beyond just like, hey man, swing the sword. That might have pissed this person off, I guess.
So fake deep means
okay.
themes.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh, okay.
I
Gotcha.
guess.
Let's get to that 100% because I mean, like so far we like Elden Ring is overrated. DMC 2 is the best DMC. Hollow Knight is overrated. So
Honestly,
I can only imagine
DMC
what
being the best DMC was probably the 75% take.
well,
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What is this?
100%.
Uh-oh.
Claire Obscure is a mess from start to finish. The story is a confusing, pretentious mess that doesn't make sense unless you read fan theories. Combat is clunky and repetitive. Level design is bland, and the graphics look like a low-budget indie trying to be artsy. Fans hype it up like it's some hidden masterpiece, but really it's just overrated filler for people who like pretending they understand nonsense.
At this point, this person just don't like video games. At this point, it is a skill issue. At this point, it is an attention span issue. At this point, it is a literacy issue. Sir, put the controller down. Find them books, find them pens, find everything you need.
help
Because
you,
it's
man.
clear you're not supposed to be here. You don't need to play games. You need to play with a motherfucking book. Go elsewhere. This ain't for you.
I think this person played bad games.
That's what I'm
It's like,
saying. I
you
think
dogged a lot of good games on this list.
Man, it's like the resident. I guess I'm the resident Claire Obscure hater because I'm not as hot on it as other people are. But it's still this opinion is just a lot of bullshit. Like, oh, it's confused. The story is confusing and pretentious. If you confused, that's a you problem. That's a skill issue, sir. Like, it was not that confusing, and I didn't need fan opinions to figure out what was going on. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's a you thing, bro. Like, you confused. Like, the story explains itself pretty well. And also, this thing of, like, the graphics look like a low-budget indie trying too hard to be artsy. What indie do you know that look like Expedition 33?
Yeah.
I swear, point
The only thing
right now.
The only thing I'll say about graphics that I noticed when I started playing it were the eyes, where they do kind of look like they be like looking off in the distance. Not you could tell there wasn't like any like real mocap involved in the way that you would like have with like an Uncharted or just any of Naughty Dog's kind of stuff, which is fine. I mean, it's on an indie level. It's not supposed to have no like grand mocap work.
I ain't gonna lie, I never looked at the eyes in that game, so
I think
it might be really noticeable. I just never. I don't think I ever thought about it.
Yeah, I'll have to go and look at it again because I'm still playing it myself. I've been streaming it, so I'm gonna get back to it tonight.
I hadn't played it yet because I was trying to get through Neo 3. I'm gonna play it after, but
animations
it does
are pretty lackluster, but
it does seem like with this take specifically, it feels like, who does this game think it is? That's what it sounds like.
That's definitely what that sounds like.
Well, I mean, back to back, we've got two games he complained about for like trying to be deep, and so that just tells me that this person has no depth to them.
You have
because
no
like
depth,
that can't,
sir.
you can't keep doing that. You can't keep saying things aren't deep that are deep. It's like, okay, well, that it really does become like a skill issue. Like, it's a you problem, bro. So, I mean, you know what though? Hats off. Like, these are the kind of hot takes that I'm talking about where I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up.
At least they're discussable.
I need him to
Well,
stop.
I guess that's what I look for next time. Just people that are just loudly wrong.
You know what it sounds like? It's like when you try to get someone who's never played that entire genre into a game like that. They don't even understand the premise of how this works. Like, they never played anything like it before. So like,
Expedition 33 and Hollow Knight are two different genres. So what that tells you, this gamer is probably, well, never mind. We ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know.
You got it.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, hey, you wanted some spicy ones. Here you go.
I remember this guy.
I've seen this.
I remember this guy. He was over there. He was the one trying to talk about how story mode
2K,
game, like,
man.
he hated story mode gamers. Yeah, you back, bro? You back?
Hop in the wreck,
hey, man. This is from December 2025, so it's not even that old.
That's very
What
recent.
fresh nonsense does this man have to say?
Number one, zero replay value on the story mode game. Once you beat the story mode, then what, bro? You gotta buy a new game or you stuck in the same cycle of playing the same weak-ass story mode over and over again. There's no replay value. Nobody wants to keep playing the same story mode. When you play 2K, when you play Madden, there's hella different options. You got My Team, you got My League, you got Franchise, you got Dynasty, you got Park. There's online game modes against real people, not final boss Elden Ring AIs, bro. Number 2, you're not competing against anybody that's real. You can't sit here and tell me playing against the AI, you're considering that competitive gaming. If you ever played somebody who was actually good at 2K, somebody who was actually good at Madden, a real compy player, you wouldn't even get a first down. Probably couldn't even score a bucket. Y'all try to compare that to an Elden Ring's final boss or a Clash, whatever y'all be playing, bro. I don't even care. Them games is trash, bro. It's not competitive. You're not a real gamer if you sitting there playing against the AI, final boss AIs.
What are you talking about?
For 3, y'all sitting cutscenes for majority of the time y'all playing the game anyway. You might as well go watch a movie, bro. You sitting in cutscenes, barely even playing the game. Then y'all don't even get to choose y'all gaming path. Y'all are locked into one path that you gotta go. 2K is hella options. Rainbow Six Siege, hella options. Madden, hella options, bro. I'm not finna sit here and
What options, my nigga?
I like the
You throw the ball
Undertaker
or you
music
run
in the
the ball.
background.
Them your options. What options, nigga? What is he talking about?
I'm just,
Rainbow Six Siege, you go down this path and get shot. You go down this path or shoot somebody. What options is he talking about? I can only take so much of this bullshit.
I can. Thank you.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. He's
it's
talking. Let me see this. He want to talk about replay value, and I'm gonna tell you this now. Single player games, in my opinion, have a lot of replay value to them, especially in the case of story based games, because some story based games have branching pathways, and it's clear he's never played one to know that. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no branching pathway in me playing no motherfucking 2K. All I'm doing is making either 6'1" or 6'7" and putting him at whatever number I need him at to get out there and shoot the ball. Same thing with goddamn Madden. Same thing with Rainbow Six Siege. There ain't even numbers in that game but a goddamn scoreboard. So as far as I'm concerned, whatever games he's playing, whatever games he's playing, bro, yeah, you got replay value, but it's the same shit every motherfucking time. Put that shit down. You get tired of it. You do. You yell and rage at it, just like everyone else I've seen in the past 10 to 15 years of my life, playing 2K, playing this, playing that. Turn that shit off and play a story game. Read a book, bitch. Oh my God. I'm tired. Y'all don't ever want to get into new shit because you scared you're not going to be good at it. That's all it is. And if you so goddamn good at gaming, come play Elden Ring. Come finish it. Matter of fact, turn your internet off. Go play the motherfucker.
What I want to know.
Do me some favors. Show me what your gaming skills really are.
What is it about FPS gamers and sports gamers
too competitive
that ain't in fighting game players that make them say stupid shit like this?
Huh. Yeah, we don't really do that.
I don't never hear FGC players talk like this. Like they either stay in their lane playing fighting games or they play single player games.
You want to know what it is?
That's
because
it.
when you're dealing with something like, out of all the multiplayer games, fighting games are the niche within that.
Niche, yeah.
So they know what it's like to play something that not everybody else plays. So they understand the nichiness of things as opposed to people who play like your mainstream sports games. You know, there's always going to be people playing those, so they don't understand what a niche is or anything outside of what they play.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least that's just the generalization, you know.
The other part of it to me is that the other part of it with me, and when it comes to first person shooter players and hero shooter players as well, and like fighting game players, this is like almost in another subsection of the conversation, but with fighting game players, you understand that whatever happens on that screen is your fault. You can't point the finger at nobody else when you playing a fighting game. That's on you. If you fuck around and get whiff punished, that's on you.
Well, I mean, you know, it's plenty of fighting game players that said I blocked that before.
I don't want to talk about DFT.
I take that.
I mean, as someone who
if you ain't raised in a fighting game, you ain't live.
I used to always be like, man, I tech that, I blocked that.
Yeah, I mean,
why is he mashing?
That's a fact.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Online, that's a fact.
So
this dude is crazy. I just spent some time with my nephew a couple of weeks ago, and my brother told me my brother was showing me some stuff on Final Fantasy 16. He just beat that game, and my nephew was like, "Daddy, why are you guys playing this game? You already beat it." So he's at an age where he don't understand the concept of you can play a game and beat it, and like you can either play it again or there's extra stuff to go with it. So from this take, I don't know how old this guy is, but he has the mind of a 6-year-old because he don't understand that you can play a single player game and miss some stuff. I'm on my second run of RE9. I'm gonna do a third one and possibly a fourth one because you get stuff for beating the game different ways, beating the game fast, beating the game on different difficulty, right? And talking about game, first of all, can we? I know I'm Unc, right? So I'm so tired of this new generation using these new words and compy, bro. Can we stop with this? I'm so tired of hearing stuff. Man, I'm a compy player, bro. Like you don't have to shorten everything.
Competition.
That's their shortening.
Okay.
Because he said it like, man, I'm real compy. Like, oh my gosh, bro. It's like you talking about these games. You just mentioned like single player games. Come and fight Simon in Expedition 33 if you so good, right? If it's so easy, right?
Yeah.
Come and fight. Matter of fact, fight the DLC version of Simon. All those bosses. Fight them if it's so easy. FromSoft games, right? Rakeem mentions a boss in Bloodborne. He never played Bloodborne because he got to one boss and is like, that's it for me. Like the Bloodstar Beast. And I remember this fight.
Bloodstar Beast.
Once you get it, okay, but it's like these games, like just because you're playing against AI has been some of the hardest opponents in history. You go back to old school Mortal Kombat, the AI will beat your face in.
Old fighting games.
Old fighting
like a lot of old fighting games would have like super bosses that would take forever to beat. It'd be way harder than fighting your homies.
And it's like obviously there's a way, there's an algorithm to it. You can figure out stuff. There's cheese to it. Sometimes a lot of bosses you just slow sweep them. There's some cheese to it, right? And obviously that was a marketing thing because back in the arcades you had to make the game harder for people to like get beat and then play the game again, spend money, right? But it's like I just don't understand this, bro. Like play something else, man. Like why people so? I remember when I was in like 6th or 7th grade, I tried to get somebody in my school to like, hey man, Final Fantasy's dope, man. I tried my hardest, man, to get this man to play. He's like, nah, man, they look wet, they look lame. I'm just like, and it's fine. You can play what you like, but don't sit up here and just bash on it. When I'm a sports, I got my stripes in sports games and gun games. I am a ball and gun gamer, right? I put countless hours in the car. I played Madden on PS2 till I couldn't no more. I played 2K until I realized that game was slop and I stopped playing it, right? So I play those games, but it's like I really enjoy single player stuff. Something with a narrative and a world and unique characters, character development, cool items, cool creatures to fight. That don't sound cool to you? No, I'm gonna drive through the lane and I'm gonna yam on them. That's what I want to do. Like, you already know. I just don't. And these games be so glitchy. Madden is one of the worst games in history. That game sucks now. It is filled with glitches, riddled with glitches. People be on the field doing the shuffle on the ground. They got that clip of Patrick Mahomes. He scored a touchdown, lay on the ground. His feet disappear, and he just slides across the field on his back. I'm like, this is what you playing? This?
Devin said, is this your king?
Bro, is this your king?
I will say this. I'm very happy I grew up in a generation where early on we played games with our, multiplayer games with our family and friends and attached, but there was no online component. So if you were by yourself, there was no option for comp. Yep. You just played.
That is a really good point.
So because we had that experience, we learned to enjoy those games for what they were. Super Mario Brothers, brother, you couldn't. There was nobody to play with. You just play Mario, and you get up there, you beat Bowser. There's a reason like we come back to these games over and over again. That's the reason these franchises are still here. Oh man, these games suck, but they've been here for 40 years.
Say it again.
Mario been here for 40 years. It's trash, huh? Zelda been here for 38, 39 years. It's trash, huh? Nobody's playing that. Nah, bro. You gotta understand, like, there's a bigger world outside of these boxes you put yourselves in. Don't get me wrong. I like a multiplayer game too. Hell, I got WWE 2K, so I'm definitely not the last person to say you can't play no slop from time to time. I get it, but you gotta understand there's nuance to everything, and there's an element to everything where you can find some enjoyment out of it. Oh man, it's trash. These AIs are dumb. Like, no, the fuck they not. I wasn't the biggest FromSoft fan. I gave Elden Ring a shot because I wanted to just give it a shot and liked it, and I fell in love with that game. I fell in love with the world, and it was incredibly hard. It was so hard. The first boss you see, you walk out the door, and it just destroys you. You walk outside this door, you in the open field, you walk 10 steps, go to Knight on the horse, go fight him right quick and see how long that takes you. See how easy that is.
You know what? Talking about comp, man. You talking about comp? You come back and talk about some comp to me when you play on a 10-inch TV playing my COD on 4 players. You come back and talk about some comp then when your eyes you can see the sweat off of Eagle from 10 miles away. We talking about some comp then. You don't know them, but that's aging me, right? I remember I was watching the video with RDC and Leland mentioned something about playing a multiplayer game on like this 13-inch TV. I'm like, that's the old days. That's all you had. You want to play 4-player split screen. You up in the screen like this. You know.
And I don't know what this aversion to a narrative is. Like
what I want to know is people not wanting to read. That you could almost tie the two together. It's like people not wanting to read and explore worlds. It goes along with their other media. That's why in movies they like their stories to be simple in movies. They don't like anything that explores deeper concepts. They're just not used to it.
Unfortunately, they won because they make Netflix movies and shit like that is second screen viewing because the first screen is your phone. They're like, oh well, you got to make it so that people can watch can understand the movie while looking at their phone. Like, no, you don't.
No,
if they don't understand, sorry,
take some.
If they don't understand it, too damn bad.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Get you a sip. Get you a sip.
Nah, my bad. But for real, like. He mentioned movies, and I'm like, you ain't never rewatched the movie to like get some shit you ain't get the first time.
Yep. Those are the best movies when you like, oh man.
Yeah.
You go back and you like, oh, okay, I didn't understand this character's motivations. Now, having seen the film, I do understand. Like,
yeah, there's movies intentionally like that where as the events unfold, because the first viewing of any movie, you're taking in the story for the first time. Right. When you watch it again, then you're like, oh, this happened because that happened, and this happened because this, etc. So it's like, yeah, you get more as you watch more. Now, obviously, there's a point where you have a diminishing return on value, but you're still, as long as you still enjoy it, nothing wrong with it.
Then also, I can tell this man has never played Elden Ring. He just looked that up and saw that it was popular. I can tell he never played it because Elden Ring has a PvP mode.
It does.
So if you wanted to engage in PvP in Elden Ring, you can do that.
It has PvP, it has co-op, it has everything. All From Software games too.
Yeah, exactly.
Except Sekiro.
So like he chose to not do that. Like he chose to like just look that up just so he can
be loud and wrong.
Well,
I'm telling you, loud and wrong. Hell,
I guess that is a hot take.
Well, I mean, if you don't understand something, it just comes out the way. Oh man, these games that y'all talking about, they really trash because you ain't got all these options. It's an open world game, bro. You have hella options to go. That doesn't. You chose the wrong game to talk about with this. Like, it's got hella cutscenes. Elden Ring barely has any cutscenes at all.
That's
so your arguments. No, none of these arguments make sense for Elden Ring. It's all good, man. If you want a ball and gun, go ball and gun in the corner. We're gonna keep playing our narrative games.
We got it over here.
Along those same lines, here you go.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
What the hell's the?
Damn, he's saying he's playing a looking like story. That's it.
Like a member of the
I who really can't get into single player games, but I really wish that I could. Like beating NPCs and computers just does not feel rewarding to me. Like it doesn't feel like I really did anything. When I get one up on a real person, when I make a nigga day worse, that's what really just make me fuck with the game. Now I'm trapped playing shit like League of Legends and 2K and shit just to fucking.
Oh, you don't enjoy your life, period.
Another level of toxic.
Don't put that on yourself, bro. You ain't got to put that torture on yourself, bro.
I mean, that's not even a hot take. That's just like, hey.
Don't put that League of Legends on you, bro. You gonna hate everybody.
I'm not even gonna raise my voice about
if your whole life is about making another man's day worse, you need to seek therapy, bro.
That is true. That is one of the parts that stuck out for me. I'm like, wow, you.
That's the culture that comes up when you hear about rappers effing people's other women all the time.
Yeah,
I ruined this day. I smashed this girl.
I ruined his life. Like
80s cereal.
Brother, please.
I still think that we just talked about fighting games. These people that play other multiplayer games, I really want them to play fighting games. And we're gonna see how you enjoy it when you get put in a 3-way cross-up mix the entire game, and you might press the button once and you lose that match and be like, okay, I'm a rematch. We're gonna see how long you wanna, sit there and play against somebody else then if that's the case. I feel like these type of people, they only like to win and beat up on people. But when it's an even match or the person is much better than them, that's when they don't know. So that I'm always curious about that. Do you really like the competition, or do you just like beating up on people?
Well, he mentioned League, so I mean, like that's a team-based game, and then 2K, which is also technically a 2K team-based game. So like, you can throw a lot of like, y'all playing like trash, even though you might be the one playing like trash. Versus like a fighting game where it's like it's all on you, brother. You lost, it's your fault.
Is he playing my part or just regular? Because regular 2K is just most people I think is play 1v1. Now my part is got other people. But he playing like just
play GTA 5 story. God, dog.
I know, right?
Like it,
man.
Tim never played his COD stories.
At this point, you have people who do role playing in GTA Online.
GTA is a special case because it does have like its own ecosystem with that. Because like the role playing thing, that was just organic. That wasn't designed by the game. The fans did that. So that's more so like just the culture of GTA itself. It is funny how you said, I wish I actually did enjoy single player games. It's a very different take. It's like, I feel like I'm trapped.
That sound like that brother just didn't. He's not playing FromSoft games or like the games that are really punishing with AI. Because if you did, you're not going to tell me that it's easy. It's like, oh man, it's easy. I don't feel any sense of accomplishment. Like, you're not going to tell me that you lost to the same boss 18 times and on the 19th try you beat him and you don't feel no sense of accomplishment. Like, it's no way.
Yeah.
So
even like old God of War games, I feel like would have.
That's why I'm not raising my voice at him, because he was just like, man, I just wish I could get into
What is the most overrated gaming mechanic? Tell the good people at home.
Oh,
listen,
I know these guys like in real life.
Collectibles.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I play Magic with these guys.
They're meaningless a lot of the time.
Here?
Ooh.
Yeah, I've played with these guys at the tabletops.
Oh shit!
Oh, they live in Nashville.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that is dope.
Small world.
They got a
tell them to watch podcasts.
I know, right?
Yeah, tell them to watch podcasts.
Literally, that looks like him. I think his name is Joseph. I think that looks like him.
Good for
them.
them.
Just busy work. I don't need more busy work, and my escapism.
Hold on, what was them?
He doesn't like collectibles in games.
Collectibles. The idea, they're immersion breaking, they're meaningless. A lot of the time, they're just busy work. I don't need more busy work in my escapism hobby. Swinging as Spider-Man across the rooftops, and I find a comic book page. Boom. 9 out of 105 comic book pages collected. Special coins. Oh, yeah, you don't want to collect the blue ones. They're a hassle. All of these things are meaningless bullshit. There is one collectible that I will give a pass to if done right. It's audio logs. The idea that
like exposition on the story.
Yes, if I can get environmental storytelling from a collectible, but really they're lore building brick by brick. Everything else, I hate it. Stop.
Man, I hate audio logs.
So you're the opposite.
I fucking hate them, man.
When he said get
That's
coins,
that's the reason why I linked this one, because I felt like this was a genuine hot take that is up for discussion.
You know, the collectibles thing, I kind of see the argument, because I remember like Assassin's Creed 2 specifically was the one for me with the feathers. And I was like, man, I really don't want to do this. Like, everything else was fine. But that one thing, like, I just could not, like, I'm not doing
them Riddler trophies in Arkham.
Yeah.
And I like doing them too.
I love doing the puzzles, but it was so many. Like, actually doing the puzzles was pretty fun. But like, it was so many. Like, yeah, I could see why it would be an issue. And I'm obviously a little bit sage because I actually like audio logs, because I came from Borderlands, and Borderlands has hella audio logs. It's actually how they tell a good portion of the story through audio logs. BioShock as well.
Oh yeah, BioShock definitely, yeah, absolutely.
It's something about the way, like, I guess it depends on how you tell your story. If you're telling a traditional narrative like Spider-Man, I don't need no audio logs, bro. Like, you slowing the pace of the game down, because now I gotta slow and sit there and listen to it while Peter or Miles do their little idle animations and shit. I'm like, man, just
you can't move through those.
I think maybe you can. I don't know. Like, it depends on the game. Some games you can, some games you can't.
Okay, yeah. Most audio logs these days, they go while you're moving. Like Diablo, for instance, it's a big thing of Diablo is the audio logs when you pick up collectibles. But it's while you're playing. They go while you're playing.
Oh,
so
most of the games I play, you're listening to them and the text is on the screen. I don't think I can't immediately think of a game off top of my head that I played where you move while the audio is still going, unless it's like considered. In that case, I guess it's more like a mini cutscene kind of, sort of.
I give
There
you a
are some
counter.
that do that.
I have a counter
Dead
hot
Space
take.
does it.
I don't mind collectibles in an open world. Like that just encourages me to continue exploring to find shit. I hate collectibles in platforming levels and like shortened levels where I'm just trying to get through the level, bro. Like I don't want to have to go and take all these alternate routes. Like it takes me out of the game. Like fuck out of here.
I'll
like
say this.
Uncharted used to do that, and I'd be like, get this shit out of here.
I feel like collectibles is like the tie that ties modern gaming to old gaming, because collectibles was like all the thing with old games, and it's
100%.
like almost an homage to a degree with older games. But I can see why, and I definitely have felt the pressure with like there's too many collectibles. I'm not getting all this.
The amount of them is, I think, the big thing.
Yeah.
I'll
some
say,
games get into like triple digits with that.
as someone who played Donkey Kong Bonanza last year, I'll say that it's one of those games where there are a lot of collectibles, but you don't necessarily have to meet a certain quota at times to beat the game. I think that's what it is. Like, I think collectibles are fine but it's when you have to meet a certain quota to get past a certain area that sometimes it can be annoying. And sometimes, I mean, you're meant to collect a certain amount of something before you can pass. Like, if you need, like, let's say, I don't know, like 100 puzzle, like in Banjo-Kazooie, you need like a certain puzzle pieces to advance to the next level or until unlock it. You know, that's understandable. That's just part of the game design.
Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
Get past the door.
Yeah, exactly. You need like certain amount of red orbs and whatnot. But in Bonanza, you have like fossils that you can get to purchase things. Now, if you want to, you could spend your time trying to find all the fossils in the game, but that is a very arduous task and something that would be extremely time consuming. And if you are a completionist, I could see the joy in that. But for somebody like me who I like, when I can just collect stuff as I'm playing the game and I'm still having fun while collecting, that's what works for me. Just going out and collecting for the sake of collecting, that's usually not what I like to do. So I do like games like the way that Donkey Kong Bonanza did it, where yes, you have to get a certain number of bananas to make progress, but you don't have to get like 3/4 of the bananas in the game to beat the game. You could beat the game probably with like half or maybe even like a third, maybe, because I know Max, he like breezed hella through the game versus me. I got way more than him, and he at the end of it had like a third of the bananas I had or something along those lines, but he was still able to beat it nonetheless. So I guess it depends on how the game itself is designed around the collectibles, whether you're forced to have to get so many versus, oh, you can just get them as you play kind of thing. But I can understand the person's frustration, because there are times where I'm like, man, I don't feel like collecting all this.
I like collectibles when they, like Jak 2, you got the power cells and the precursor orbs, but they unlock something like back then you had cheats like big head mode or something that the game actually gave you for getting that stuff. So
yeah,
I can agree with that, Daniel. Yeah.
Seriously, does anyone like these? What is this one?
Save. This might be an unpopular opinion, or maybe not, but I fucking hate stamina bars. I get the realism factor, and I get the idea that you're eventually going to run out of
this
energy.
is a legitimate argument.
But it seems like one of those unnecessary roadblocks that gets in the way of my suspension of disbelief when I'm playing a game that's already littered with superhuman capabilities. You already have me carrying more shit in my pouch and on my back than any human could reasonably carry. Which, mind you, I can already roll around with all of that and somehow not lose anything or not injure myself upon rolling and stabbing myself with a sidearm. But yet 3 swings of a longsword and I'm fucking panting? Then there's sprinting. So you're telling me that I can jog across the entire map and never break a sweat, but if I exert a little more speed, I'm fucked? It's not that
I will
it's a
admit,
bad idea.
I don't
and
like
Souls
it when
fans,
like
don't come at me, because I know you're going to
speed is
yell at me
left
for
as a
this
stamina.
anyways.
I will
Keep
admit.
your stamina and your lack of applause button. I'm not fighting you guys anymore. But again, you can already do superhuman shit in every video game. I'm led to believe that this is what realism looks like. I mean, look, I already have to deal with being over encumbered, which is another stupid concept when I'm carrying shit like iron ore and other rocks in my backpack. But that one extra apple that I pick up, well, that's the last straw. It's a 20-mile slow walk back to town for me. Be honest, do you really like stamina in video games?
Well, I'll say this first about the encumbrance thing. I mean, like, inventory management is also a part of those games.
Yeah.
And so you need to be able to just be like, all right, I don't need XYZ and get below that stamina. Because like encumbrance is very funny in that it's meant to be as non-intrusive as possible. Because like as soon as you drop one item or two items, you go back to moving at your normal speed. And if you want those two items that bad, it sounds like one, you should have went back to the village earlier, or two, you should just like, hey man, I'll drop some other shit that I don't need. So it's not that hard.
And if I'm not mistaken, wasn't like those systems created? I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought those systems were created originally just for like memory issues. Because if you just keep hoarding so many items, your game will probably
Crash
start
the
chugging.
game. Yeah.
So that's actually a limitation placed to kind of like, hey, this is a limitation placed really because it's a technical issue, but you don't even know that, so we just put this in here for you as a gameplay issue. But that's a part of it. I do not hate the opinion that stamina, because I have been on both sides. I've seen where you can have some interesting stamina mechanics and level up your stamina and do things like that, and it can be interesting. And I've been on the side where like, man, this is really a hassle, and this is slowing the game down. So I can see the argument there.
You know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you whether obviously I don't like stamina in video games, but I'm not gonna sit here and say no game should have stamina bars. I will say this: when it comes to like outside of combat, that don't need stamina bars.
Yeah.
Like if I'm just trying to run and explore the world, like just let me do that at top speed, bro. Like don't stamina that away. Like cut that out. Like limiting like the sprinting. Like I ain't with that.
I think
games. Go ahead,
King. You got it.
I say a lot of games, what they'll do instead is that as long as there's not combat involved, you can sprint as long as you want to. And then when combat happens, that's when the stamina system kicks in. That's kind of like
how it should be done.
Yeah, I agree.
I think because I don't mind them. I guess I like Souls games, so I don't mind them. It depends on. Sometimes there are games that like it seems like it runs out way too fast. Because I guess I like it because it's kind of akin to like meter management in fighting games. You got to like manage the meters you have. Like look at, okay, what's going on? Do I need to do this right now? So it's kind of similar in that regard. But yeah, I don't necessarily mind it. And I mean, a lot of games do have things where you can like upgrade your character to the point where you can get something that like refills your stamina or like goes down slower. So normally like at the beginning of the game, that's when you feel like the most like shackled, because like your stamina bar is usually the lowest. And I know usually most times I play like a game now, I usually stamina is the first thing I go for, like when I increase something. But it almost kind of makes me think of tank controls. Like some people don't like tank controls. I didn't mind tank controls because I think especially for the games they had them in, it actually worked because it kind of gave you more tension. Like Resident Evil, like the tank controls legit kind of put you in the game. Like it makes it more tense because once you figure them out, it's like, okay, I get it. But before you're kind of like bumbling over the controller. Oh, I got to go forward. And you got to wrap your brain around the fact that holding up goes forward no matter which direction you're facing. It takes some getting used to, but I do think like it's an interesting thing. Like it doesn't really bother me now. But I can see some people not liking stamina bars in some games, but as long as it doesn't egregiously go out super fast when you use it.
Yeah.
I know like
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Terrence.
Oh, I was just gonna say for me it's just a movement thing. Like if I need to get somewhere, don't limit because like especially if I need to get like halfway across the city or something like that, don't limit my movement because it just takes longer. Like that's my only thing with stamina bars. Like when it comes to combat, I'm with you, Devin. Like it's kind of like a meter management thing, but it's only when you're taking away my option to get from point A to point B quicker that I don't like stamina bars. Just because like if I need to get there, why are you trying to make it hard on me to do that?
Exactly. This was a fun one. I think Terrence put this one in, but I also had run into this one, and I was like, "Yeah, I like this."
My hottest take as a gamer is that I think gamers need to play more bad games on purpose. Every day I wake up and I see people yelling about how this video game sucks or that video game sucks. And then I play the game and it's actually fine except for maybe like a rough spot here or there. I think people just don't know what bad video games are anymore. So I'm gonna help you all out, okay? Ready, go. Play this.
Ain't
And
nobody
this.
gonna play that.
And
No one's gonna play this.
And these. And you could also probably play this one. That
it.
should be a good start. I feel like we live in an era of gaming debate and discussion where everything is declared in absolutes. This game is the best game ever. This
That's
game is
everything.
the worst game ever. And if
just
you
game.
like it, then you smell bad? What happened to stuff just being okay or just good or just like kind of bad?
I know, right?
I feel like this extremes mentality has led to the degradation of nuanced conversation and critique, but that's a discussion for another time. Anyways, play more bad games and do it on purpose.
The reason why I like this one
Anime
is because
Demon Girl.
Wait, what'd you say?
Thanks, Anime Demon Girl.
The reason why I like this one.
I used to VTubers.
The reason why I like this one was just because the idea. I do think they're right that a lot of people don't play genuine bad games now. I mean, obviously, when a bad game like Gollum or what was the one that came out earlier this year?
That was bad.
Code Violet.
Code Violet. Yeah. When games like that come out, they do feel like the flavor of the month because it's bad. Everybody's like getting on it to play it and everything. And those games are legitimately bad. But I do think there was something about how like back in the day, like in the 80s, the 90s, even the 2000s, where when you didn't know as much about a game and when you went into it, like if you hadn't like seen any ratings or anything like that from anyone, if a game was legitimately bad, you just kind of had to like suffer that time. And that when you playing that bad game, you knew like, oh, this is the bar for how bad a game can be. So when I play something that's better than that, it's like, oh, okay. Like it gives you like ability to like rank things better. Whereas now, like, yeah, people will see something that is like maybe a minor grievance and just say like, oh, the game overall is bad.
Yeah.
I will say this. I'm tired of seeing people say, why don't you use the whole review scale? I'm sick of that. I see people say that all the time, and what they really mean is that they want to be able to give a game that they didn't like a 1 out of 10, even if the game itself is fine. And it's like, you can do whatever you want. Yeah. But if you talking about professional reviewers, like someone saying I didn't like this game that's otherwise like technically a fine game, that shit is worthless to me. Like at that point, your opinion is so opinion based that I can't use it. It's like, I need you to be able to, on some level, grade this. Of course, every review is opinion based to a point, but there has to be some level of objectivity to it where you're like, oh, well, I mean, the game plays fine. I just don't like this game. Like, okay, like you need to be able to say that. And so, like, a lot of people, they'll dive into, like, they'll be like, oh, well, why don't you use the whole scale? Like, this game, every game can't be a 7 or an 8. And it's like, every game's not a 7 or an 8. There are plenty of trash games that come out. We just don't talk about them because why would you?
Big Rigs. Like, Big Rigs is a definite 1 out of 5 kind of game. You may not like Baldur's Gate 3, but that's not a 1 out of 5 game.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it might be a bigger conversation. It's like the reason people aren't going to don't have that scaling for worse games is that a lot of things that drive people towards games now is the conversations around them. And the games that get the most conversations these days are either, well, right now it's multiplayer Concord games, unfortunately. But at one point it's like, what is the hottest game coming out this month? And this month is Crimson Desert, clearly. But like those games are going to drive a lot more attention. So people are going to try those games and be willing to like put their foot out for those games more because so many people have opinions about it. They got to see if it's accurate. No one's going to look for a Superman 64 style game now, just randomly on Steam. They're going to actually try to look for something that has high ratings, high reviews, some kind of like hype behind it.
I guess would you say that that's like the blessing and curse of having so many games to play is that you aren't forced to play those bad games unless you just really want to?
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah. And not only that, but like we've gotten to a point now where most experienced developers are so good that they're not going to make a 6, a 5, a 4 out of 10. No. That's just not going to happen. There's a baseline level of competence that goes into making video games at a high level. That means that, yeah, a lot of games are going to hit in that 7.5 to 8.5 range. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you may not like it. You may feel like, oh, it's not every game can't be a 7.5. It's like, well, if you want to play some trash, you got to go to an inexperienced developer or a developer where literally everything went wrong, like Mind's Eye. Like, you got to go to one of them. You're not going to be able to go to, like, an experienced developer and get no piece of shit. The only way it's going to be a piece of shit is if it's just they had to rush that game out and it's full of like bugs and nonsense like that. Otherwise, like, you know, and what that does, since Terrence brought up, like there are so many like high quality games, what that does is it pushes up what people consider as a must play. Like there was a time where like an 8 out of 10 would be a must play, But like now it's like, unless you just were already passionate about that game, an 8 out of 10 is no longer a must play. The must plays are the 9s, the 10s out of 10s, the games that people consider to be basically perfect. Those are the games where it's like, I'm not into this genre, but I'll still check it out because everybody's saying it's basically a perfect game, like a Baldur's Gate or like an Astro Bot or whatever, like the games that win Game of the Year every year. So
I think people gotta temper their like ratings because like Liza P didn't, it got like a 70 something on release, which was crazy.
Yeah, it was like in the like low 80s.
Yeah, like I'm like, this is a must play in my opinion for a FromSoft person. So I don't know, the ratings like an 8 is a good game. Like
8 is very good, but like, you know, like I said, like that's what happens when there's so many great games. People just think like, oh well, if it's not amazing, then why am I playing it? And it's like, I don't know, because you looked at it and thought it looked cool. You know,
fair.
Here's a fun one, real quick, because we're about to close out.
Is this Avengers?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
My hot take is that the real problem with Avengers is that it just didn't ship with enough content.
Yeah.
I can definitely agree
with that. I can agree with that, yeah.
If you had like, I don't know, doubled the roster and tripled the number of bosses, like, and had like some real like classic bosses in there, and also got away from the MCU look of some of them characters and just went with like the comic looks. Like you look at Marvel Rivals and they look like anime characters, or they look like their comic book personalities and in like anime versions. And Marvel Tokon's doing the same thing. And that's the way to go about it. Like the MCU looks the way that it looks because that's how it has to look in real life.
Right.
But you don't have to do that. You're playing a video game. So like it would have been fine to just make a video game character look like the comic books. And that was the first stumbling block for them.
I actually played a good bit of Avengers, as you know, Sage. And I say this every time. I loved the story for this game. Like the actual campaign, loved it. I was like, this is a good story. This is fun. And then it got to the end game content. I was like, ooh, boy, this is getting grindy.
You needed a longer story with like it's even if you were gonna make it grindy, the story needed to be longer. You needed at least like a dozen bosses to go around and like fight.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna keep grinding these bosses out, it needs to be more than fucking 3. Like I don't know what they thought was gonna happen. I know what they thought, actually. They thought, oh, we've got all these development teams and we'll be able to pump out content at the rate that Marvel Rivals pumps out content, where you get a new character every month or every 2 months. They thought they were going to be able to do that. Well, when Square didn't see the immediate return on investment that they thought they were going to get, they immediately pulled the plug, started putting those teams on different games, and like suddenly you don't have the DLC that you like. They very clearly wanted to put out a new campaign, a new mini campaign every month. And if they could have stuck to that, people might have changed their opinion on Avengers over time. Like if you could have gotten, because at first they was trying to do the 2 Hawkeye campaigns, I think, across like 1 month. And then after that, the plan was to do Black Panther, and Black Panther was supposed to be a bigger expansion. And the Black Panther story was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then after that, I think there was rumors of like She-Hulk and Captain Marvel and War Machine, all these characters, because they had data mined all those characters. And if they had been able to do that, people would have been like, oh, actually, you know what? It turned into a good game. But instead, like once Square Enix pulled the plug on it, it was like, oh, this game is trash. It's dead. And then like for it to come out and be as glitchy as it was, which once again, like I said, like when you rush a game out and it comes out with a bunch of glitches, that's when people start to go like, okay, this is a 5 out of 10. This is a 6 out of 10. When you play the completed version of it that's been polished up and all the bugs are gone, and you've got even just the cast that it had at the game's close. So like, not just the main 5, but 2 Hawkeyes, Kate and Clint, Spider-Man, Black Panther. Who else did they add? Winter Soldier, and Thor. Like they added Lady Thor. I'm blanking on her name. Her name in real life.
Jane.
Yeah, Jane Foster.
Yeah.
Once they added all those characters, it's like, oh, okay, this is a decent sized roster. Like, oh, it gives me a nice variety of characters to play with. And then like you add on like the 2 or 3 bosses that they added. It's like, okay, well, that's not bad. And it would have been fine. It would have been decent as a starting roster. I still think you need more characters, definitely way more villains than they had.
Man.
But
Sage, you always talked about like in other games, hey, I want like in the Spider-Man 1, you wanted more villains, and I remember I didn't necessarily agree in Spider-Man 1 because you literally fought the Sinister Six, but this game, it was inexcusable.
Yeah.
They had nothing. I was like, bro, I'm fighting MODOK. That's it.
You fought Taskmaster one time. I think you fought Abomination. And then you fought MODOK, and then that was it. And I'm like,
I even remember in the demo feeling like the enemy variety was very bland. You're just fighting a bunch of drones and foot soldiers, essentially.
Soldiers. And it just kind of got grindy at some points, like with some of the mission structure as well. I did like the variety of how you could, how you played your characters and weapon abilities and combos and stuff like that. That was fun. But like the grindiness and the end game, I just it just felt like
I loved how this game played. I'll say that. Like all the characters, they all played fun. Except I never really glommed on to how Hulk played. Like you basically had to constantly keep his rage going and constantly attack. I didn't like that. Every other character, I loved how they played. Iron Man in particular, man, Black Widow played great. Iron Man in particular, like y'all, EA got an Iron Man game out. I'm gonna tell you right now. If it don't play as good as the Iron Man and Avengers, you failed. You really need to play better because he's the only character in that game. But still, like if you can't play at least as good as that, you failed. Period. Because it was already fun to play as him in that game. I know some people never figured out the Unibeam, but like I figured out the Unibeam. That shit felt powerful as fuck. You could just like mow people down with this long beam of light, just destroying people. I was like, yeah, and like the missiles and all it played great. I really hate that Square didn't give it another 2 years in the oven to let them add content and then put out a game that was once again that Destiny brain that a lot of developers had back in the 2000s, in the 2010s. Like they were just so obsessed with the way Destiny did things, and it's like, all right, man, but that was Destiny, and really they didn't get away with it. They had to come out with Destiny 2 and kind of try to fix everything. So
yeah, they got away with it, but they didn't get away with it.
They ain't get away with it. This is gonna be the last one.
Okay.
Right.
Things that make unpopular opinions. Gaming edition. Let's go. Number 1. Red Dead Redemption 2 is not the best open world game. The entire Assassin's Creed series would like a word. Number 2.
That's crazy.
I don't care at all when people say slurs. I find it kind of funny. Some
when
dudes
people
sitting
wait,
on empty beer
go
cans
back. Wait, what?
Crazy
No,
shit
go
on the
back. What did he say?
He talking about on the headset.
Not the best open world game. The entire Assassin's Creed series would like a word. Number 2, I don't care at all when people say slurs. I find it kind of funny. Some dude sitting on empty beer cans screaming crazy shit on the mic. Like, you go, man, let that anger out. Channeling them inner ancestors. Number 3, VR games will never take over. People keep saying like it's the future and you'll be.
That's not a hot
into
take.
The game.
That's the truth.
Number 4, all cutscenes should be skippable. I swear they're the death of me. I don't care how much work you put into the story. If I wanted to watch a movie, I'd turn on Netflix. I'm just trying to play the game. Number 5, 2K19 was the best 2K, and this one's gonna stir up some shit. But Advanced Warfare was the best Call of Duty.
You lying?
Isn't that the one everybody did not like?
I can't accept that.
Realistic. That's what makes a game fun when you can do the unimaginable. Number 7, season passes are the worst thing to ever exist. Why am I paying up front for something that's not even gonna live up to the hype? Stop. Number 8, the PlayStation 2 was the best console of all time. Best games. And lastly, number 9, the Wii U was better than the Switch. The only thing that gives the Switch the edge is that it's mobile. If you know, you know.
What?
I mean, are we just talking about as a console overall?
There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot going on there.
Shout out to you, man, for having that many. You got about
that. I gotta give you credit.
A few of them I was like, oh, I can see that argument. Some
Brother
of them
said,
like,
I don't mind when people say slurs. I'm like, hold on, sir.
Yeah,
even on their mic,
online long enough, so I understand what he's saying. Like, if you play online long enough, you're so desensitized to it, it doesn't even bother you anymore.
So yeah, that lets you know what he be playing.
Because I remember playing Halo back in the day, and some gentleman called me
360
and Ty
lobbies,
and Rashid the N word, and I went to the side. I was like, how do you know we were black? I didn't understand how that went back.
I had a little soul in your voice.
That one still bothers me. I'm gonna be honest, because I played Overwatch a couple of weeks ago, and somebody had a name that was like pretty triggering for me, and I'm just like, you got to be a despicable human to put a name like that. And I was trying my best to report this person, and for some reason they didn't like. I wish it just had it like on the side when you see the person, they just report them. I'm like, I was literally triggered to the point I was like trying to hunt him down on it. Like I don't even care about the objective. I don't care about moving the payload. I'm trying to kill you because his name is uncalled for. Like what his username was. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
And you know how people try
have to know what their name is. Don't say it right now because
whatever it is, we got you like that.
I know somebody. I see somebody streaming. I see somebody like take a photo of somebody playing F-099, and they was like, "Why? How did somebody manage to like mess with the words enough?" But they basically had the N word as their name, as their username, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, people do like the different
symbols and stuff."
Yeah.
And it very clearly, like when you looked at it, you like, oh, I see what you did. I forget how they manipulated it, but you could easily see like, okay, I see what you did. Wow, this is messed up. And he was just running. Somebody said that same dude had been playing F-099 for like months, if not a year plus. I was like, bro, that's crazy. On a Nintendo game at that, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
But yeah, this dude, he did have a lot of hot takes. The whole every cutscene should be skippable. I agree, but only because sometimes you play a game. Not only you should let me pause for that. But sometimes I'm like fighting a boss, or like if you got a hard boss and your cutscenes are unskippable, hey man, you going to hell.
Yeah,
just letting you know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'll give you that one.
I
got to sit through a 5-minute cutscene and then fight this hard ass boss that I'm probably not gonna beat. You'd have lost your mind.
I will say personally, I always watch the cutscene one time. If it goes to the second, I'm out. I'm skipping it. So in that regard, I don't have a problem with that at all.
After that, I've seen the cutscene, I've seen the story, and now if I'm losing to this boss, I got to face this boss multiple times. I ain't got time to just be sitting there watching it, because like what you're gonna do is make me hate the story because I got to keep watching the same cutscene. Like I just want to fight the boss, beat the boss, and move on to the next part of the game.
Man,
so like
the other side of that is if I play this game like I ain't feeling this story, I don't really like these characters.
Well, I'm not gonna be playing this game for much longer.
I was gonna say at that point you just cut the game off.
That's like
you just skip the game entirely.
That combat gonna have to be phenomenal.
Like I said, Avowed.
Oh yeah.
Where man, this story, these characters, whatever. Oh, this combat's kind of fun though, and even that. Like I got through 3 of the 4 areas, and I got to that 4th area, and I was like, "Do I really need to beat this game?"
Do I dare say I beat?
Do I need it? But yeah, I mean, like I, you know what? Those were some good hot takes. Like some of them legitimately had me like, "Man, fuck this person," or "Fuck this." Like, shut the fuck up. Like that's the kind of I need that kind of energy. Like I appreciate y'all. Y'all had some good hot takes. Everybody brought in some stuff that like,
that Advanced Warfare, I can't accept it, bro. That was the game that made me stop playing Call of Duty. I just stopped.
I never played like there are a lot of NBA 2K fans that will be like, 2K19 is the one you pick.
I like Advanced Warfare, but him saying that game was the best one, that's I like.
I have fun with that.
I mean, not when Modern Warfare 2 exists, like from back in the day.
Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare.
Now also a lot of takes like that when they're specific like that. That's age range. Because there are certain games you can come into. Like I came in right at the Modern Warfare 2 stage, Black Ops 1, like really when COD took off. We came in right when COD took off. But if you came in after that, like you didn't play Black Ops 1 and 2, maybe you came in on Advanced Warfare when you started playing, that's a different feeling. You're going to have a different feeling for that game than we would have for it because we were 4 or 5 games deep at that point.
Now you said PS2 was the greatest console of all time, so...
that is true. That is true.
Which I ain't got no notes on that one.
Yeah, I ain't got no.
I mean, it's good console.
That's why I'm quiet.
That Wii U over the Switch one was out of pocket though.
Yeah, that's 100% out of pocket, especially considering that's the one that Nintendo CEOs at the time had to take a pay cut for. So
now I will say the Switch went and stole all the Wii U games to put them on the Switch. So
that is true. That is true.
They was like, hey man, these games didn't nobody play them, so let's just go ahead and port them.
I don't think it was like wasn't really like a Dreamcast situation where Dreamcast clearly had really good games. People just didn't. That console just lost out.
The Wii U had a lot of great games. Like
the
that
Wii U
was
a
part of the
sense.
problem.
The Wii U's problem was that I know people did not like the
console.
name. Like if it made it seem like it was meant to be like a successor to the Wii, but it wasn't. It was really its own thing, and the way that you play games on the Wii U just wasn't like sometimes the most intuitive thing. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. It's like there's a lot more it felt like they could have done with that tablet versus what they ended up doing with it.
It was weird to have a tablet as your controller.
Yeah.
I understand what they was trying to do. They wanted to extend the DS, the dual screen console, to like, mainstream, to like an actual console. But like, that didn't really work. Because I owned the Wii U for a little while. I bought it entirely for Xenoblade X. Worth it, by the way. But that's just the fact that people really didn't know that it was a different console, for one. And then it took them so long to get going. Like, it took them a long time to get first party games onto that console. Like, because I remember watching the trailer for Xenoblade X alongside a bunch of other games, like Nintendo first party games, and all of them came out 2 and 3 years later. And it's like, at that point, the system was just dead in the water. And even Nintendo was like, we got to move on to the next console. So
actually, you know what really killed the Wii U is the lack of third party support. That was one of the big things. I mean, that was also a thing that people criticized the Wii for, but the Wii, was able to survive despite that, just because of the gimmick.
It had strong first party.
Strong first party, and the gimmick was so strong that it appealed to multiple generations, whereas the Wii U, it didn't have any of that.
Yeah. Yep. So, I mean, like, that's a wild one. I'm going to let you have that one, brother, but it's not one I can agree with.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's going to wrap this week's episode up. What's y'all's biggest gaming hot take? Leave it in the comments below. If you're new to us and like this episode, I need you to do me a few favors. I need you to hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. And do me a personal favor. Have an excellent week. Peace.